Hi, and welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 30th of October 2023. So Friday, bonds, gold and crypto surge, stocks purged as US credit risk rises into World War III. That's what we've been talking about. Stock enters correction as the yield curve uninverts. Other news, oil and gas surge after Israel announces ground invasion plan. NDX holds gains on strong Amazon and INTC numbers. And something else to be aware of if you trade the Dow, the market's going to open at 1:30 this week and close at 8 p.m. as we've gone back this last weekend with the clocks for autumn and winter. The US don't go back until this coming Sunday when it'll be the 5th of November when they will change theirs and everything will be back to normal a week today. And so let's have a look at the economic news for today before we then move on and have a look at the markets. Today we've got German prelim CPI. That's out at 8 a.m. and we've got 9 a.m. Prelim on a medium impact as well. Tuesday, core CPI for the Eurozone there as well. Then we go over to the US for unemployment or employment cost index, S&P composite HPI year on year, Chicago PMI, etc. Wednesday we've got the French and Italian markets closed. ADP, well, if we've got ADP then we've got non-farm payroll, so the market will be looking for this. I need to just bring this up so you can see it. So on Friday we've got non-farm payrolls. It's the big one of the week, I think. But let me just check. We've got a lot of news this week. We've got FOMC statements at 6 p.m. on... in fact, no, it's a big week. We've got the Fed funds interest rates out on Wednesday evening as well. 5.50 unchanged is what they're forecasting. No increase, no decrease. Then the press conference, so that's the quarterly one. Thursday, we've got... Also, it looks like rates are going to remain unchanged in the UK as well. Bailey's going to be speaking just as Powell will be speaking in his press conference the night before or evening before. And then I say the non-farm payroll. So a lot happening this week, a lot of volatility, and that's along with it kicking off in the Middle East as well. Just a quick look at the implied volatility before we move on. You can see that we're at 16.29. Let me just change the colour of this so to more something that will alert you to the fact that we've moved from the 994 to 16.29. And like I say, the area of where the recent decline is likely to take place is 100% increase. So we're looking around 20% just for good measure there. So yeah, implied moving in the same direction, and what with all of the economic news this week and the escalation in the Middle East, it could be an interesting week with regards to the volatility as well. So now let's move on, have a look at the market, see where they're trading overnight and also what they did during Friday's session. So starting off in the Dow, the market trading below the 32739, but up on the overnight. Got this huge cluster of volume here now, so again, and it's oversold, so we're due for a bit of a bounce here. In the 30-minute chart, you can see the sell-off as a result of the ground invasion by Israel during Friday, up overnight. Needs to get above the DP, the 50 EMA, R1, and then the high. So there's every chance that the market could do this, as we've seen so many times before. In the German DAX, well, sideways, and again, climatic volume with demand. So for me, the market's on the long side from today, and we'll see what happens if the market can get above the 5-bar moving average as well, which we saw last week, and then the market retested. But now we're down in an area where the market is likely to want to move higher. We've got this so far, we're above the DP and also just trying to get above that 50 EMA there. We were up on Friday, we had an 89% retracement, down we came, we had another 78% retracement back to the high, and then the sell-off with the Dow there. In the S&P 500, this continues to be sideways to lower as well. Again, climatic volume, oversold, need to close back above the 5-bar moving average there. 30-minute chart, again, similar picture, electronic sideways to higher. As soon as the New York market opened, down we came. Unlike the Dow, the S&P is above the DP. It's got the 50 EMA in its gun sight, R1, and the high just above there. In the FT100, below the 7326 on Friday, and stopping at the 727.38.8 and 7273.8, get that right, at the 89% retracement there. Needs to close back above the 5-bar moving average, and in the 30-minute chart you can see we were sideways, not doing an awful lot until, say, the US markets opened, and then it was announced that Israel was sending in ground troops to Hamas. So that's how the markets played out, and they're bouncing quite nicely at the moment on the overnight. Whether that remains, who knows, but at the moment it wouldn't surprise me to try and regain what the markets had lost on Friday with that announcement. It's interesting how the war seems to be the dominate the news at the weekend when the markets are closed as well. There's certainly a pattern there. So in the US dollar, it's still above the 20-bar moving average and still looking fairly bullish there. So let's have a look how the metals are staying up to this bullishness in the US dollar. Starting off with silver sideways, it's not making any progress. It's going to be hammered back to the downside, and I'll tell you for why in a second. 30-minute chart, so you can see that it was already being moved lower during Friday, then the news, and then only moved higher because of one thing, and that was gold hitting $2,000 an ounce. They're now bringing it back below 2,000. They're going to hammer that back down. They don't want it above 2,000 at all. On the 30-minute chart, you can see there that we're now back below $2,000 an ounce. So that move up during Friday in the 30-minute chart was a really good move, but they're going to hammer this back down, and that's why I know that silver is going to get crushed back down, and I'm still down for $20 in this market or below. You can see that we were there before, and we're going to come back down there and go below this as soon as Israel makes any progress, and they can start shifting again the narrative away from the news. So we'll just have to wait and see, but that's how it's panning out at the moment. And in the gold-silver ratio, this moving down, silver holding a bit more against gold being crushed overnight as the traders come on stream for today's trading. So let's see what happens during today and see if the market can maintain and move back to the upside. Certainly the metals are going to get hammered today because the news is sort of waned a bit with regards to the ground offensive by Israel. Okay, that's it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.